Good afternoon and welcome to NYCryptoTalk. Welcome to part 1 of my Keeping Your Funds Safe in Crypto series. I am looking to build a series every couple of weeks on different things, and my first item that I would like to tackle is keeping your funds safe. So I am going to tackle basic information, advanced information on keeping your crypto assets and your personal information safe on the internet. So I'm going to be breaking it down weekly into different sessions on different details that I think will keep you safe. Hopefully it'll be informative. If it's redundant or if you know this stuff already, then obviously, this is for different people in different realms of the crypto ecosystem that we're in right now. There are a lot of new people here who might benefit from this information. If you're more advanced, wait for my more advanced classes. But I hope you guys enjoy this. So without further ado, the first thing that I would do moving into the crypto ecosystem is getting the Brave browser. The reason I say it is because it is a very secure, fast, and private web browser as opposed to utilizing Chrome, Internet Explorer, Safari, and all the other types of browsers out there. I know some people have their favorites. I personally was a big Chrome user. I have been for years since they had the beta version out for Chrome years and years ago. But I have thus moved to the Brave browser due to the fact that a lot of hacks have happened in the past couple of years, especially with crypto. So there's a lot of information about it. Basically, the people who built the Brave browser are also the people who brought you the basic attention token, so you guys can find out more information about that. Mind you, the people who built the basic attention token also built Mozilla Firefox. So good information, so you're knowing that you're getting a good browser experience as well as a secure one. So you can browse faster by blocking ads and trackers that violate your privacy and cost you time and money. So if you're not familiar, trackers can lead to issues with malware and other bad information being leaked out there on the internet. So by blocking ads and trackers, you're less likely to get a virus, you're less likely to have your information exposed on the internet. Brave has a browser for both mobile and desktop. The Brave loads 2 to 8 times faster on mobile for Chrome and Safari, and 2 times faster than Chrome on desktop. So that's great information. They have little grids down here that show you that the time. You can also save money, especially when it comes to data browsing. So by blocking ads and tracking, the amount of data that comes through on your system will be considerably less. Blocking ads and trackers. So this is where the crypto kind of mindset comes in, because by blocking these ads and pop-ups, you're not going to have any issues and your information is not going to be out there. You can save hours every year. These are also benefits, and then avoiding the infection. So the ads and trackers reduce the chances of being infected by malware, ransomware, and spyware. In 2016, infections increased by 132%, more than doubled. Brave even has HTTPS upgrades, which means more of your connections are encrypted, protecting your identity, browsing, and payments, and more. Obviously, you should always be going on sites that have HTTPS, which basically means secure. There is an actual certificate, and you can view the certificate for the actual page. If they don't have this, please try to avoid sites that are just HTTP nowadays, because if they do have that, that's usually pretty bad. And protecting your privacy by reducing the public trackers that are out there and using private and incognito modes. Obviously, a lot of these browsers offer that, but they don't actually do any information in there. So you can see here the number of trackers on the same site in Brave versus a traditional news site. So big difference when it comes to the information that is actually being shared if you're using the Brave browser. Just to show you an example here, this is my own, and I've had this browser now for about 2 months. So you can see how many trackers have been blocked, almost 50,000, almost 100,000 ads. And the upgrades to HTTPS sites, so moving from HTTP to HTTPS, because sometimes when someone links you to a website, they might just go HTTP google.com, but this will automatically shift you to the secure site automatically. And I've saved approximately 2 hours of time just loading pages. So obviously doesn't make a difference for me. I'm on a desktop computer, and a couple of seconds here and there doesn't make a difference. But on a mobile phone where your data limits are applied, obviously it's a big thing. So that is my first tip of the day when it comes to keeping your funds safe in the crypto world. There are other browsers out there that are very secure. You can also use a VPN on top of this. I'm not going to go into VPN because it's a very critical information. I might go into it in the more advanced series, but right now, go to a browser first if you can. I definitely recommend the Brave browser. I have a link in the description for the Brave browser to download it. The next thing I would recommend is, instead of using Google to do your searches, recommend you use DuckDuckGo, because what they do is they don't track you. Google is a conglomerate. Obviously, everything you do on Google will be tracked. DuckDuckGo is basically setting a new standard for trust online, empowering people to take control of their information. And it talks about how you deserve privacy. All the information basically is not stored. So it's simple. You can privately search. There's tips on it. They're actually really cool blog that tells you about how to actually prevent certain things. So if you need to use a browser, a search engine, I definitely recommend DuckDuckGo, just because you're going to get more information, and you're going to keep that information because they don't store it. So same thing with ads. They don't have ads through their browser, and they don't track you. So just good information and helpful tips. I am a big Google advocate, but in the world we live in today, having all our information stored on these servers obviously is a scary thing. Moving to the third tip of the day, the final tip of this week's session is passwords. So if you're not familiar, obviously I think the research has been done that 80+% of the population that utilizes passwords nowadays use the same password more than once on multiple sites. I think the percentage might actually be 85%. So if you think about that, if your password is exploited, which happens very often, there's almost every couple of months a major corporation says that they've been hacked and your passwords might be out there. So with all these big hacks, there actually is a site that's called Have I Been Owned with a P. And this site will allow you to actually check websites, all the websites that have been hacked, and it'll basically tell you if you're secure or not. So you can see here we have over almost 5 billion owned accounts. This is how many times it's been pasted onto like torrents. And this is how many websites that have actually been hacked. So there is a lot of accounts out there that have been hacked, and if you had your password at that time hacked and you're using it now for another website, they might try multiple websites with the same password. So what I recommend you guys do is definitely check out a password manager. I personally use LastPass. There is a mobile version of it, as well as a desktop and a extension depending on what browser you use. It actually works with the Brave browser, which is why I like it, because the Brave browser allows for certain Chrome extensions to work, but more securely. So definitely check out LastPass. What I like about them is when you first log in, you can actually upload your passwords directly from your browser, whatever browser you have. It will take them and it'll do an analysis for you. It'll tell you how many passwords you have that are the same. It'll make changes for you. It'll do whatever you need to do. And when you go to a new website, you actually have to use your master password to actually log into a site. I know it's a pain in the butt. I have like a 14-digit code that I use to open up my LastPass, and then I can actually access the websites, and then it only works for 24 hours. So it's very cool. Definitely check out LastPass. That's my personal opinion. I've done a lot of research between this and its competitors, but I do like being able to create these strong passwords, having the digital information in one place, but all of it, technically, I don't know any of my passwords. I don't know my Google, my Facebook, my Twitter. None of those passwords do I actually physically know. So I have to go to LastPass to get that information if I need to log in or if I somehow get locked out of my accounts. So LastPass is one of them. Obviously, there are other options. One of the other ones is 1Password, which also has a mobile and a desktop version. And then the last one is a actual offline version, which is called KeePass Password Safe. And this is also a manager that can be utilized and stored on your computer in an offline mode, basically, to store your information. So it has almost like a hash, encryption algorithm that you can use on the main database of your passwords. So if you want to use something on one computer, then this is a great piece of software. I'll talk about this a little bit more when I go into my Linux installments. As far as the options are concerned, as I mentioned, there's LastPass, there's 1Password, and then there's KeePass. I believe there might be another one out there, but these are the three main ones that generally get recommended out there. So definitely take a peek at it. If you're not using a password manager right now with crypto world, especially with exchanges, guys, get your exchange passwords changed ASAP. That should be the first thing you guys do. Exchanges need to be all different, because once someone gets access to a major exchange, your information is bad. There's no way around it unless you're in an offline storage and your funds need to get released, similar to like cryptos where there's cold storage and they need email confirmations. But do your due diligence. Browser, search engine, password management. Those are the three things I definitely recommend first for you guys to look at when it comes to keeping your funds safe in the crypto world. So I hope you guys like this. Next week I will be talking more on crypto funds, where to store them, how to store them, backup methods, and more advanced information on your devices. Hope you guys like this series. Please comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.